if you keep an honest relationship with God, that's all that matters. Forget everybody else trying to judge you or a pastor say, oh, you're a false prophet, or you contradict yourself, all you're doing is you preaching but you're having sex, whatever the case may be. I don't have to explain myself to you.
Right.
I got an honest relationship with God.
Hey. Welcome to another edition of the Sit Down at Uptown. The Sit Down at Uptown, man. I'm your host, Angelo Sykes, and the owner of Uptown Comedy Corner. And as you know, we like to chop it up with all our comedians come rock the club. And we got my man, Memphis Will, who just did just that. Here this weekend, man. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, brother?
Man, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, brother? Listen, let me tell y'all got one of the most amazing comedy clubs in the country, bro. This motherfucker got so many rooms, I got lost. At one point, I performed in the hallway. I thought that was the showroom. That was the goddamn lobby.
That's hilarious, man. How you feeling, though, man?
Man, I can't complain, bro. I'm just glad to be in the ATL, bro.
Yeah,
I was telling you in one of my shows, y'all set a platform that really changed the game, especially for urban comics. You know, you done seen them all, bro. I mean, before they even had a penny in their pocket. You have seen them all, and everybody came through Uptown Comedy.
Yeah.
When I was in Memphis, I first started doing comedy. Only thing I used to hear about is Sunday night, Uptown Comedy Club. Sunday night, Uptown Comedy Club from Chestnut and K-Dub and all them cats back from Memphis. You got to get to Uptown, and Earthquake and all them was here too. So the platform you set, bro, that changed the game in the Atlanta area, spread it all the way to all the other cities to where it inspired and motivated other African Americans. If not start a comedy club, start a comedy night, which grows to a comedy club, bro. Absolutely. So shout out to Uptown Comedy Corner, Angelo and his entire team for making sure that it's a platform for us to display our talent, bro.
I appreciate that,
and that's
bro.
real talk, bro.
I appreciate that.
Real talk, bro.
So, Memphis, I like to always start my conversations going backwards, right?
Okay.
So, what I want to hear first is let's talk about a young William. You know what I mean? Back in, Memphis, Tennessee. Talk about the kid. Talk about how you grew up, man. Absolutely. What life was like, things of that nature, siblings, all that.
Right. So I got 3 older brothers, and I'm the baby of the family.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm always defending myself. You know what I mean? In Memphis, we call it checking. That's when you talk about each other.
Sure.
And so I got these big 16-year-old cousins used to be talking about my older brothers or my other older cousins. Nobody would talk about them back because they would make you cry. They was that good. But I would, probably about 6 or 7, I would be the only one that would hold my own ground. Eventually, I start crying, but it won't be the first 5 minutes like everybody else.
Right.
And I was the only one to talk back, and I would literally last about 15, 30 minutes. And if I'm whooping on one arm, the other one try to join in. So I got 2 big 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds ganging up on a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a early call for me as far as comedy.
Okay.
And I tell everybody this story. I was at Hamilton Elementary School in South Memphis. I was in the 3rd grade. It was this teacher named Miss Malone, 3rd grade teacher. This is the first time I heard about comedy. And so I was a new student. You know how you go to school from August to December, and then you go to Christmas break. Then when you come back, you do January through June. So when we came back to school, I was at a new school, which is Hamilton Elementary. And so I never forget, my first day of school, I don't know nobody. It's my first day in January, after the Christmas break. So it was a cat named Joseph. So before the teacher left the classroom, she looked at Joseph and said, I'm not going to have the same thing this year that you did last year. I don't know what she's talking about.
Right.
She said, I'm finna walk out my classroom. If you talk about anybody, I'm going to send you to the principal office. So sure enough, Miss Malone left the room. Just as quick as she got 2 foot out the door. I watched this with my own eyes. I remember this day like it was yesterday, and we talking forever ago.
Right.
Joseph started running through the classroom, talking about 3, 4 people at the same time. And none of them would talk about him back. They would all start crying and put their head down on their desk. And I never understood, like, why ain't nobody talking about him back?
Right.
The teacher came back, he got in trouble. This was on the Monday. Then on the Tuesday, he talked about another 4 or 5 people. They cried, came back. But what Joseph didn't know was, Angelo, I'm waiting on him to come to me. Because remember, I've been battling 16-year-olds all my life. Not a big deal. So long story short, this goes on throughout the whole week. Well, come Friday, what Joseph didn't know was I had been practicing at home in my bathroom. I had 2,000 jokes waiting on Joseph.
Right.
And come Friday, boy, did my manifestation happen. Joseph looked over there and said, look at that new student. And I had on Wranglers, Pro Wings, all the worst shit that you could have on. And Joseph said, he started talking about me. I said, Joseph, that's one. He said, what does that mean? And I utilize this rule right now today as an adult. I give you 3 chances to talk about me. First time you talk about, I don't say nothing. Second time you talk about, I don't say nothing. Third time, you struck out. I start talking about you back. And I'm not like a light switch. Like, I can't even turn that shit off once I start defending myself. So that means I never start talking about nobody. You have to talk about me first. In short, I told Joseph, if you keep talking about me, I'm going to talk about you back. But what Joseph didn't know was I was on the inside saying, please keep
Please do it.
He hit me with number 2. I said, that's 2. You got 1 more. When he hit me with number 3, and this happened in real time, real life, bro, I ran through Joseph's ass like a motherfucking Uzi. Because keep in mind, I had been rehearsed. You ever rehearsed to talk about a motherfucker? It's one thing to work on your set, but to rehearse to talk about a motherfucker.
Right.
When I got done with Joseph's ass, tears was coming down his face. He was mad. He told me, I'm going to kick your ass out the school, all this shit. But Miss Malone, my desk was sitting this way, and Joseph's desk was on that side, so the doorway was right here. And Joseph could see that Miss Malone was standing outside the doorway, right? Miss Malone and 7 other teachers stood in the hallway, watched me talk about Joseph for 45 minutes.
Are you serious?
And they was in the hallway laughing.
Enjoying it.
When Miss Malone came into the classroom, this is the first time I heard something about a comedian. Miss Malone came in the classroom and she said, Joseph, that's what the fuck you get. She said, I've been waiting on a motherfucker to come and tie your ass up. And she said, I wouldn't give a fuck till you cry to the ocean. Go tell your mama. Because you deserve every bit of it. And then she looked at me. She said, William Clark. And she went to the chalkboard, wrote, William Clark is going to be a comedian when he grow up. I was
is that right?
3rd grade, Angelo.
Wow.
And I raised my hand and I said, what is a comedian? She said, that's somebody that make people laugh. And she said, it's a time and place for everything. I said, well, that's not going to be me. I'm going to the NFL.
Right.
Just like that.
Right.
But she said that to me in the 3rd grade, bro.
Wow, that's crazy.
So it's an anointing, it's a calling, you know what I mean?
That's wild. That's a heck of a story there, man.
Hey, shout out to Miss Malone. Miss Malone, hopefully you're still living and praying for you. And thank you for speaking that into my life.
So,
I never forgot it.
So what happened to Joseph after that?
I didn't whoop Joseph's ass that day.
Right.
Because I kept telling Joseph, I said, Joseph, now I can fight. I said, it's one thing to lose in checking, but if you try to fight me, you know, I'm going to whoop your ass, Joseph. And Joseph didn't touch me in the 3rd grade, but when we got to the 4th grade, he tried it, and I ended up whooping his ass in the 4th grade. But after that, we were friends.
Yo, cool.
We were friends after that.
Joseph say no, man.
Because Joseph was a pretty boy. Joseph, and he had all the good shit. Remember Troop and BK and all that? Joseph had every Nike shit you can think of. So he was the only child. He was fresh and shit. So shout out to Joseph too. What the fuck?
For the inspiration. That's wild. So were you ever like labeled as the class clown throughout school?
You know, believe it or not, man, I wasn't.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like most comics come from like the class clown background. And that just never was me. Like, did I get in trouble for talking about somebody? Of course, I had to go to the office. But I wasn't that guy that come to the classroom, oh, I'm going to make everybody laugh. Oh, I'm going to be silly. I once heard Rest in Peace, Bernie Mac, which is my favorite, one of my absolute favorite comedians. My top 3 is Bernie Mac, Robin Harris, and Chris Tucker. Okay. Rest in Peace to Robin Harris, Bernie Mac. So you may have saw an interview one time, and it reminded me of myself, which is where I classify myself as at this point. Bernie Mac said when they did the movie Life, Oprah asked him, how was it working on the movie Life? And he said, professionalism of working with Eddie Murphy and Martin. I thought initially he was talking about gift and talent and all that stuff. He wasn't. he told Oprah, he said, you know what the worst thing is? To hang around a bunch of young comics. Because he said, they're all trying to out-funny each other. And just like Bernie Mac said, I'm this exact same way. Not comparing myself to Bernie Mac, but I'm this exact same way. He said, when I'm on stage, I'm clocked in. I'm in tune. But when I'm off stage, I'm just me.
Okay.
If I happen to say something to make you laugh when I'm off stage, that's cool. But I'm not trying to put on a show and make you laugh with every word come out my mouth. If I say something funny, cool. If I don't, who cares? I wasn't trying to be funny.
Right.
But he said on the movie Life, they were so professional that he said if you take a bunch of young comedians and put them in a room and lock the door and put a camera in there, he said you'll see every last one of them trying to outdo the last show, outdo the next talk. So I wasn't that class clown guy. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
I'm a little, I ain't gonna say I'm serious off stage, but then I ain't silly and ha he and either.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So you were a good student?
I was definitely a good student. It was the grades that wasn't good. The grades will say different, but I was good as a motherfucker. Right. But the grades say I was an asshole. The grade revealed my reading skills.
Oh, boy.
I remember I used to do this joke on stage, and this is a true story. Remember the reading groups in elementary?
Yeah.
Remember they had Group A. Now, Group A was the best readers in the class. There'd be about 10 or 15 of them. And by the end of the semester, you know, they'll be on their 5th book.
Yeah.
Group B, they didn't read as good as Group A, but they still can read good. They'll be on like book 4.
Yeah.
I was in Group 3. That was me, the teacher, and one more motherfucker.
You said Group 3.
I was in, I'm telling you, it was me, the teacher, and one other person. And her name was Miss Smith. I want to take time out and say, fuck Miss Smith. If you watching this, Miss Smith, fuck you. She was pregnant at the time. Fuck you and your baby. And this is why, for y'all can know the anger that I don't even cuss like this, but Miss Smith brings it out of me. Fuck Miss Smith. She was a substitute fucking teacher. She wasn't even a real teacher. My real teacher, Miss Starwork, shout out to Miss Starwork, got sick. Miss Smith was there for 4 fucking months. I made all F's in fucking Miss Smith class. I was in the 4th grade. I ended up passing because Miss Starwork came back the last 30 days and changed all the students that was failing. Because Miss Smith was a pregnant, mean motherfucker. She called me mustard one day in front of the whole fucking class. She was just a mean motherfucker. She used to make us stand in front of the class, bro, hold our arms up, and the motherfucker would start walking down and smelling our armpit.
No.
And then she got to me and said, you the stinking motherfucker. Get your ass to the bathroom and wipe some soap and shit all on your armpit. She did this shit in front of the class. The shit was humiliating.
Really?
And the one girl, coincidentally, I'm in Atlanta. The one girl, remember I said on stage tonight, this girl, Goddaddy here, she was my girlfriend in the 4th grade.
Yeah.
Her brother was at the first show. She coming tomorrow. Most beautiful girl in elementary that I've ever seen. And she was my girlfriend. Her brother hooked us up. She was coming down the hallway one time in the middle of Miss Smith making us do this shit. And she stopped her and she brought her into our classroom and said, this is your boyfriend? He stinks.
Wow.
You don't want to be with no stanky kid. Miss Smith did this shit. So now you see why I say fuck Miss Smith.
Yeah.
So she put me in Group 3, and that was the only thing she did right, because I couldn't be in Group A or B. We was on the same book the whole motherfucking year. And so what I didn't like about Miss Smith was I could be reading, and I don't know the word, right? And I read over like blah, blah, the dog went up to here, blah, blah. She said, I'm right here in front of her like I'm talking to you. So if I got to learn the word or to correct the word, shouldn't that be between me, you, and this other guy?
Right.
Not Miss Smith. This motherfucker stands up and get the whole class attention. Sound it out. Sound it out. Say it like you see it. Say it like you hear. I said, bitch, I don't hear a motherfucking thing. I'm a good repeater, bitch. If you say it, I can repeat it after you, bitch. And so one day I snuck the book home. This is a real story. I snuck the book home because we always would continue where we left off. So I rehearsed the paragraph that I was going to have to read the next day. So I got to class. She called up our reading group, and I couldn't fucking wait to read because I knew every word by heart. And so I'm anxious to read, and she must have picked up something because I was too anxious to read.
Right.
Do you know this bitch gonna try to switch books? I said, Miss Smith, I'm reading this motherfucking paragraph. I wouldn't give a fuck, bitch, what book you go to. This motherfucking paragraph is getting read out loud today, bitch. You can go to the office, I'm gonna read it over the intercom, bitch. Everybody gonna think I can read today, bitch. And that's a real motherfucking story. Fuck you, Miss Smith. If you pass away, rest in peace, bitch.
Oh, boy.
Excuse my language, it's cussing, ladies and gentlemen. I don't cuss like that.
But Miss Smith had to get that.
She pulled my only girlfriend in and told her I was stank, bro.
Wow.
Who the fuck does that to a fourth grader?
That's crazy.
Man, she ruined me, goddamn.
That's crazy.
Ruined her.
Yeah. Well, at least she stuck with you. The girlfriend did, huh?
Yeah, I've been wearing Old Spice ever since. Bitch made me start wearing deodorant earlier. I'm gonna stop saying bitch. This last bitch. Fuck you, bitch. Miss Smith. The last one. I'm done after this. I'm done after this. I don't cuss like this for the people who want to come and watch me do clean comedy. It's not my regular vocabulary. It was a flashback.
Oh, man, that's wild. So, after you finished up with Miss Smith, and moved on, so high school, what was the difference?
Man, it was a huge difference. I'm an All-American football player.
Yeah.
And I played football for the University of Memphis, so I got highly recruited playing football. You know, I had so many. I played wide receiver. Okay. I'm 260 now, but back then I was 175.
Well, I get
run good routes, catch quick as fuck. And so the good news is I got recruited by so many colleges mentally. You know what I mean? Not one of them really came to give me a scholarship. But in my goddamn head, I had 27 universities that wanted me. They was recruiting my brother, who graduated 2 years before me. I was reading the letters they sent him.
Right.
And would take them to school and pretend they were mine. Right. I ain't even get recruited by a community college. Fuck football. I played football for the University of Memphis as a walk-on, but I like to tell people I was All-American. But the fact of the matter is the coach didn't even know my motherfucking name. That nigga called me green jersey for 4 motherfucking years. I was on the scout team. I was rooted. The only difference is I could play football. But man, that goddamn coach Rip sure he never gave me a chance.
Really?
That motherfucker never gave. He called me green jersey for 4 years.
4 years.
Green jersey, stand right here so the starters can hit you. I said, what? He said, you're a cone, goddammit. You're not a human out here. You're a cone. I was a cone drill.
You're a cone drill.
And I had to stand there and let a motherfucker hit me.
Wow.
But when I tell the false story, like I said, I got highly recruited. I was All-American. So many colleges knocking at the door.
Yeah.
The nigga decision on which university I want to attend. So
and you
walk
settled,
on like
you
a
settled with University of Memphis.
That's what I settled, goddammit. The boosters know me. I was a walk-on like a motherfucker. So if y'all watching this, you see me in public, I'm All-American.
All-American. That's right.
All-American.
Highly recruited. So, what was your major at Memphis?
Physical education, minor in health, master's in administration supervision.
Okay.
Had I finished,
So you learned how to
I would
read
have
then.
got all 3 of those.
Yeah, you
I didn't finish though, but had I finished,
Yeah.
I would have got all 3 of them. As you can see, I've been rolling that lie off my tongue for so long, that shit go right together. I went right to it, did it? Undergrad physical education, minor. I've been saying this lie for 15 motherfucking years. Minor, I say physical education, minor in health administration. Only reason I know administration supervision is a major because one of my frat brothers graduated with the shit for real. I've been using this shit ever since. Administration supervision. Man, I ain't got none of that shit. I got 1 more semester and I left like a motherfucker. They said, the financial ain't gone. I said, well, bitch, I ain't got no scholarship.
So I'm gone.
I'm gone, goddammit. It's over. We had a good run.
Oh, boy. So you pledged at University of Memphis?
Yep, University of Memphis, man. That's really the only thing I accomplished at the school. I crossed, nigga. That was it, nigga. My life went downhill from there, nigga. I should have never crossed this shit. I was on the path of graduating. One like football was taking up my time. Them niggas didn't even let me attend the meetings. Cones don't have to be here.
Cone don't have to be here.
Go stand outside and wait on the team to come out. Them niggas treated me terrible, nigga. I'm not bullshit. Them niggas treated me terrible.
Oh man. So where'd you go after you left your 4 years of excellence at the University of Memphis?
Yeah, 7 years of excellence at the I
7
appealed
years
3 times. I told my grandma died every year, so I had to withdraw. I was trying to get all that financial aid money. I got more W's on my transcript. You think that shit stand for Westwood? That shit stand for withdraw like a mother.
Withdraw.
I got A, B, W, W, W every semester. But I end up when I first did my first stand-up routine, I was a senior at the University of Memphis, and the whole football team that was on scholarship used to always encourage me to go do stand-up.
Yeah.
And Prescott had that comedy club called Funny Spot. You remember that spot on Night in Honor? You know Prescott, right?
Yeah, I know.
Shout out to Prescott. So they had a Thursday night. They used to come on the radio all the time saying, if you think you funny, you think you can sing, come to this Thursday night open mic and do your thing. So for the whole football season, the football team was like, you gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go. My brother, everybody like, you gotta go, you gotta go. So I told everybody, okay, I'm gonna go after the last football game, I'm gonna go to the spot. So the last game was Cincinnati. I watched it on TV because I never made the fucking trip out of town. One motherfucking time. I don't know how I feel to get on the plane and travel with the team. I only know to put on that green jersey and go stand there and let a motherfucker hit me. And then root for him like I was on the team. I told one girl, she said, shouldn't you be there? I said, I'm there in spirit, bitch. Stop disrespecting me, bitch. I'm playing for the University of Memphis. I thought you played. Well, why you with me every Saturday?
Right.
You missing the point, bitch. I only get dressed on homecoming. And that's a fucking NCAA rule, bitch. You want for that, I be dressed. They only picked 60, bitch, and I didn't make it.
Boy.
And so I went to the Prescott room on that Thursday. It was open mic. Now, before I did this, the place is about to be packed. Whole football team, everybody about to come. Family, everybody. So the night before the show, I'll never forget, it was 3-something in the morning. I was like, you know what? I can't do this yet. Because I was scared. Just pure fear. And so I got on my knees, 3-something in the morning. I really told God, I said, God, I'm not going to do the show because I'm scared. I said, but I'm not going to tell nobody I'm going to do the show because everybody going to try to make me do it. I'm going to drive down to Tunica, Mississippi, and I'm going to turn off my motherfucking phone. I made up my mind that's what I was going to do out of being scared. It's about 3-something in the morning. So my frat brother, Rhino, shout out to Rhino. He actually come driving up from Memphis, and he may come tomorrow's show. So he knocked on my door. He was my roommate at the time. He knocked on my door about 3:30 in the morning. Right after I said my prayer. And I opened up the door. He was like, God told me to tell you, don't fear nothing or nobody in this world but him. And this how I knew it was God because he had no idea. I just told God I'm not doing the show because of fear.
Right.
And he said, God said, don't fear nothing or nobody in this world but him. And then he turned around and said, what if comedy is your destiny? Then the devil is using fear to keep you from your destiny. And that's truly what made me say, I'm going to get on stage. So I got on stage, first time ever on stage, standing ovation. The following week, I did 5 minutes. I had the shit wrote in my hand. The following week, I went back to the club because Prescott wasn't there the first week. So the following week, I wasn't prepared. I just was going to hang out. And Prescott was there. And he was like, man, the whole wait staff been talking about you. I'm bringing you on stage next. I was like, no, I'm not prepared. He was like, fuck that. You going up. So he called me on stage. I couldn't remember none of my jokes. My mind went black. And the audience was really rooting for me, but I couldn't remember nothing. And so finally I got off stage. He was like, boo, get your ass off stage. And so I got off stage and I got in my car, and that's when it dawned on me. God gently whispered to me. He said, your first show, you got a standing ovation. That's the best of it. Your second show, you pretty much got booed. That's the worst of it. So all that anxiety and fear you have, get rid of it. I showed you the best your first time. I showed you the worst your second time. Now go ahead and take off. And that's because had I bummed the first time, it wouldn't have been no fucking second time.
Right.
So he had to show me the best of it. Then he showed me the worst of it because he was trying to eliminate my fear.
Okay.
And he did that, and I've been ripping and running ever since, man.
Since.
Moved to California right after that.
Is that right?
Yep, right after my football season.
Wow.
Well, after their season, after I finished watching the motherfucking season. I could have left earlier because they wouldn't have missed shit. Wait a minute, where the fuck is Memphis? Where's that goddamn cone when you need it?
So I assume throughout your football journey, playing the cone and green jersey,
absolutely,
you were making the team laugh then. I mean,
naturally.
And
that's what was happening, bro.
Okay.
It was just a natural effect because I would call things for what they were. Because I had another guy named Terrence was on the scout team.
Okay.
And we had a hole sitting at the bottom of the practice football field by the end zone. And so a guy graduated before me from my high school who was a real All-American. I often tell his life story when I'm talking about mine. But this is actually his real life.
Okay.
He actually was highly fucking recruited. And actually was the star of the University of Memphis. Shout out to David Dawson, Ken Evans. So David Dawson, #1 recruit in the country. Him and the quarterback, Ken Evans, 1996. I'm 97, but they 96. #1 recruit in the country. And he played for the University of Memphis. So I'll never forget this shit. He ran a route, and he went across that hole in the ground, and he barely tapped the hole. I mean, his fucking pinky toe didn't even go in the hole, right? 27 trainers ran down there, forced him to get on the stretcher. As he telling them, I didn't hit the hole, ain't shit wrong with me.
Right.
I didn't hit the hole. Doctors come running out. The head coach come running out. And they begin to take this motherfucker off the field. The very next play, my boy Terrence on the scout team, he ran that same route. His whole motherfucking leg fell in that goddamn hole. Damn near broke his motherfucking ankle. Now one goddamn trainer went down there. At one point I saw the head coach saying, hurry up and roll off the field so we can run the next play. That gives y'all an idea of how the fuck they feel about guys with green jerseys. They didn't give 2 fucks. He fell in the hole, and the coach said, roll off the field so we can run the next play. Matter of fact, Cone, go stand over the hole. That was my name, Cone. Cone, stand in that goddamn hole.
Make sure nobody else in there.
What? We don't mind y'all falling in it, but we're not gonna have a scholarship players falling in that bitch.
Right.
Walk-ons, you can spend a night in that bitch. I don't give a fuck. That shit really happened.
Oh, man. So you hit this stage. Now, at what point of your comedy journey where you realize this is really what I want to do?
When I used to tell people growing up, after Miss Malone said that, I used to say, I'm gonna go to the NFL, then I'm gonna use my NFL fame to become a comedian once I retire. So, and that was been in there ever since the 3rd grade. And we saw what happened with the NFL journey.
Right.
And so when my senior year, when I ended up doing that comedy, and I got that first standing ovation, my mind was made up then.
Okay.
See, when stuff happens for people, we have all these doubts because you don't have a made up mind. I had $90 in my pocket. When my flight landed in Los Angeles, California, I had $90 in my pocket. $90. I started off with 100, but we had a layover. I spent 10 at McDonald's. $90 when I landed. So when I got there, I brought my boy AD, bought my one-way ticket there. Cause I knew I wasn't coming back.
Okay.
And I had never visited LA in my life. So it's not like I was familiar and none of that. And I just, like Steve Harvey say, shout out to my frat brother, Steve Harvey, I just really jumped without knowing I jumped. I had strong faith. I spent years telling everybody, oh, move to California, move to California, move to California. But every year I gave myself an excuse not to do something. Okay. That's my new thing. I tell people now, your drive has to be more important than your excuses. Because if you got more excuses than your drive, then your excuse is going to win. And so from a spiritual connection, I'm a spiritual guy, very faithful. I mean, you know, I stand on my faith, period. And so I'm at this church called, what was the name of this church? Called Cumming Street Baptist Church in Whitehaven, Tennessee. It may have moved now, but at this time it was 2005, December the 31st, New Year's Eve. At midnight, it's about to be January 1st, 2006. This church is a mega church in Memphis, 1,000 members, about to be New Year's Eve. Me and my frat brother sitting in the balcony because we couldn't get in the place. And I forgot that pastor name, but this really happened. And they got it on footage. So this pastor was preaching right before midnight. Then he stopped. Then he started back preaching, and then he stopped. And then the congregation was looking like what's happening with pastor? He said, ladies and gentlemen, God is telling me to say this. He said, is somebody in here that's supposed to be moving and relocating to another state? God told me to tell you that he travels too.
Wow.
He said, God told me to tell you he gonna be there up on your arrival. So whatever fear that's preventing you from going to where you need to be, God told me to tell you he already there. And if you stay, he gonna beat you up here because this ain't where you're supposed to be.
Wow.
And then he said, I'm talking to somebody, I don't know who I'm talking to, but he said, but how many of y'all know that if God wants you to be somewhere, he gonna make sure you get there. Your free willpower may take over A, B, and C, but he gonna get you where you need to be. Then it'll be up to you to do what you do once he gets you where you need to be. And he said, who knows? Maybe it's Los Angeles, California.
Get out of here. Is that right?
On my mama and daddy, rest in peace. That man said, who knows? Maybe it's Los Angeles, California. And guess what he did after that? Start back preaching. And only 2 people knew I was going to LA, and my frat brother went. And it made me think, did you say something to the pastor? But I know he don't know the pastor like that.
All right.
And so I literally, it turned January the 1st at midnight. A few minutes after that, everybody was saying Happy New Year. But it was when he said that I knew all my excuses was done.
Right.
And when it turned January the 1st at midnight, February the 13th, I booked a one-way trip and I moved to Los Angeles, California, February the 13th, 2006. But it was that sermon where God used him to know what I needed to hear to take off. And I did the homeless thing, the struggling thing, but I'm still there.
Wow.
17 years later.
That's deep.
Yep.
That's deep.
Still homeless, so I probably shouldn't have done that shit. Fuck that pastor. Who was you talking to, motherfucker? You false prophet, goddammit. I'm just joking. This I was gonna be homeless 17 years later, motherfucker. False prophet. No, I'm just tripping.
Wow, that's deep. That's deep. That's good stuff there, man.
That happened though, bro.
So what did your family say when you were making this decision to move to LA?
My mama said, you know what, he's always been headstrong. He got a one-track mind. So she knew I was going. And so what I didn't know was, well, everybody else was telling me, don't go, you crazy, you should save up this amount of money. But I've been using that excuse for years. I'm gonna save up this and I'm gonna move. I'm gonna do this. I never done none of that shit I said I was gonna do.
Right.
I'm gonna sell this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna graduate. I had a gold teeth in my mouth. So I used to be like, I'm gonna get this taken out. I'm gonna do. I had so much stuff that I kept. Every year it became something. And so when I made that move, what I didn't know was my brothers was telling me my mama used to use me as inspiration. They didn't tell me if she was alive. They told me this after she passed away. But they was like, every time they would talk about doing something, my mama would always say, look at your little brother. He moved to the most expensive state in the country with $90 in his pocket. She said, he's not talking about his dream. He's actually manifesting his dream. He's doing something about it. So that inspired them to become the entrepreneurs that they became off of her keep using me as an example, which I didn't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I often always say, like, boy, if I can go back, fuck comedy. I'd do something else, goddamn. Do a little league umpire coach or some shit, goddamn. This comedy is a motherfucker, I can tell you that.
No doubt, no doubt.
But it's an anointing gift, so I wasn't nowhere around it for me. You know what I mean?
So what was your LA experience like when you first hit LA?
I mean, it was homeless after homeless. You know, and it's funny to say that because I'm just a few years from that experience. You know, I was serious on stage when I slept in storage units, slept in 24-hour fitness. I used to sleep by the jacuzzi, all type of shit. And so after going through sleeping in storage units, sleeping in rental cars, I mean, everywhere, I finally got blessed to get my own crib. And like I ran into Mike Else one time in the mall. I was sitting in the mall homeless. And I was trying to, you know how you try to make somebody feel sorry for you a little bit. I was like, hey man, I just need a little bit of help, you know. But he said, man, you better go get a fat bitch. He said, you choosing to be homeless, that's your fault. Henry Colbert told me one time, Henry Colbert kept a big walk.
Yeah.
Henry Colbert kept a roof on. Say what you want about Henry. He kept a roof over his head. And he used to he pulled me to the side one night at the club. He said, you know what, Memphis, your problem is you're looking at beautiful women and petite. He said, I ain't finna move you in. He said, I noticed you ignored those 3 obesity girls standing in the corner that's been trying to get your attention all motherfucking night long. He said, Memphis, they'll give you a dough key tonight. But I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it, man. And plus, the storage unit honestly gave me independent, meaning it was a storage unit, but guess what? It was mine.
Okay.
I ain't have to go live with you or stay with you. I'll never forget. Shout out to Dame Dash. Just know this to Dame Dash, but it's a real story. So I'm filming a movie at the Dame Dash Studios. He found out I was in the storage unit, took me to a big house in Sherman Oaks, 5-bedroom, overlooking the whole Los Angeles. And this wasn't his main house. This just was like one of his side houses. And everybody that was filming from out of town stayed at this house. He don't believe in hotels. And so he let me stay at the house, and everything was cool. Beautiful house. I was really blessed. But it just wasn't my vibe.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't smoke. I don't drink. Most comedians smoke, drink, get drunk. It's just not my shit. I never have. You know what I mean? I usually say I didn't because I played football, but we knew I really did play. So I just didn't drink or smoke. Just what it was.
Right.
And so it wasn't my vibe. As grateful as I was, it just wasn't my vibe.
Okay.
And every time I would ask Dane, how much this gonna cost me, I never got the answer. So the first thing I'm thinking, you know, we thinking when people get deals and stuff like that, you know, they always get screwed over. And I was thinking, you know, we don't have a contract. Everything is verbal. So if something pop, what I really got coming.
Right.
Especially if I'm staying in this house.
Right.
So since I never got an answer, no diss to Dane, since I never got an answer, I packed my stuff and went back to my storage unit. So the next day on set, you know, Dane funny too. He could be a comedian. So he said, what type of country motherfucker leave a mansion and go back to the goddamn storage unit? He was like, nigga, have you got that attached to the motherfucking storage unit that housing this new shit for you? So he was ripping me a new ass. Right. Everybody died laughing. But I told him, the type of dude that have a peace of mind. Because I know how much the storage unit costs. I don't know how much this house gonna cost me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that was the difference.
Okay.
So I had opportunities to stay A, B, and C, but my storage unit was my independence, and it was my peace of mind, and I can afford it without having to depend or lean on nobody.
Right.
And people respected that. You know what I mean? Everybody but the people who own the storage unit. Everybody else respected it.
Right.
They was the only ones who had an issue. But you want to hear something funny?
What's that?
I had neighbors.
That really?
There was so many motherfuckers living in that storage unit, we started our own neighborhood watch. Y'all think I'm bullshit, I'm not. But I had real neighbors. We were looking out for each other. What time you coming in? I'm gonna open up the door for you. The police been riding by all night. Lay low.
Lay low.
Don't come out yet. We were really looking out for each other. Y'all think we really formed a real goddamn family, that motherfucker. We started saying grace before we eat. Y'all think I'm playing, man. I ain't even being funny, man. I had a real family in the storage unit, man. Shout out to all my people in the storage unit, man. We was a real community in that building. We were closer than people in real houses. We would knock on each other. You need some tissue, everything good. We were just there for each other.
Right.
I had real neighbors. I went by myself in that bit.
Wow.
We had real neighbors, man. But I got blessed, man. One thing I can say about the storage unit is where I heard God's voice.
Okay.
You know, because, see, what people like to do is when things don't go right in their life, including me, like to blame other people. Nobody want to take accountability. And so I would blame God. I was depressed. I was angry. I was upset. Now, if you came and saw me at a show, you didn't see none of this. I took a shower. I put on my clothes. I went and did my performance. I shook people in. Then I'm back on the bus, back into my depression, back into wondering what happened, what went wrong, why do God got me in this situation? Blaming God, why God, why God, why God? And so this is what I really want the viewers to hear. You got mercy and you got grace. And people think mercy and grace is automatic. It's not. You have to activate mercy and grace. Well, Memphis, how do you activate mercy and grace? By taking accountability. And what I mean by that is, I wasn't in the storage unit because God put me in the storage unit. I was in the storage unit because of self-destruction. So a lot of us make decisions, and it comes with a consequence. The fact of the matter was, I wasn't a household name comedian to only do comedy.
Okay. And
the Spirit told me, you need to get a job in the daytime and do your comedy at night. Only thing I was doing in the daytime was sleeping and jacking off.
Right.
And that's real. I wasn't doing shit in the daytime.
Right.
So why wasn't I working?
Right.
And I'm making $50 here, $25 here, trying to survive in the most expensive state in the country with a few bucks, blaming God for everything. So I had a pivoting moment in the storage unit, and I realized I'm here trying to play victim, trying to make God bless me, But what you don't know is you can't use psychology on God. I tried it. I realized sitting in the dark in that storage unit one night, the power of God. And this is how I realized the power of God. You can't manipulate them. You can't try to use psychology on them. And you can't play victim with them because God is the most patient person in the universe. And so what I realized was, remember the people were supposed to, when Moses went to free the people, remember it was supposed to be a 40-day journey.
Right.
But it took 40 years. Why? Because remember their mindset changed. They got free, and then they started worshiping gold items and all that.
Right.
So you would think after the first year, the second year, or the third year, at some point God would say, okay, let me go ahead and take them to the land of milk and honey. But he never did. And read your Bible for yourself. But I don't think nobody made it to the land. I think one person maybe, I don't know, read your Bible for yourself. But I don't think none of them made it to the land of milk and honey. 40-day journey turned to 40 years because God got patient. As long as your mindset is worshiping them gold items, I'm going to let you set in the shit that you created, which is self-destruction. So once I identified with that, I realized my story. As long as my mindset is blaming other people and blaming God, I'm going to continue to be sitting in shit in the storage unit.
Wow.
So on this particular night when I had this pivoted moment, I said, you know what, God? I'm going to take accountability for my actions. Forgive me for blaming you and others. I'm in this storage unit because of me. When I tell you I felt the load lift off my shoulders when I took accountability, and that's when God activated his mercy and grace. I got up the very next morning, went to the library and started looking for jobs. And I told God, God, if I got to work, could you bless me with a job where it don't feel like I'm working? Which was a case manager helping people get food stamps and GR and houses. Funny helping them because I was just as homeless as they are. Right. so true story. As soon as I got my job, as soon as I started working, within 4 weeks, every door that I tried to open myself when I was homeless, whether it was perform at this club, get this agent, get this manager, get this cast director, none of it happened. As soon as I got my job, Angelo, every door that I was trying to open for years by myself open.
Wow.
Now the big agency wanted me. Now this manager wanted me. Now the club wanted to book me. And that's when I realized, because I did it the way God told me to do it, instead of doing it the way Memphis Will wanted to do it.
Wow.
So if you listening, take accountability for whatever you did, and it allows God to activate his mercy and grace upon you. But quit thinking mercy and grace is automatic, because if that mindset don't change, you're going to find yourself depressed and walking in the same circle trying to play victim and manipulate God. I'm telling you, I done it. Take accountability, change your mindset, and change your life.
That's good stuff there, bro.
Real talk.
No, that's good. That's good.
Real talk.
So what doors started opening for you? Talk about some of those doors.
I got my first television show. Okay. I got booked right here in Atlanta, Georgia, Bounce TV, Off the Chain. Yeah. I went and did that show, remember, Off the Chain? So we filmed it at Center Stage. That's right. And we was at I never forget, we was at the Comedy Union. 30 comedians went up, but it was 5 people sitting in the room. This for all these comedians out there that's viewing this. It was 5 people sitting in the audience. 29 comedians went on stage and talked about how empty the room was. Instead of them performing for 5 minutes, they spent all their energy in, ain't no but chairs in here. Could have done this on the cell phone. All the little stock jokes.
Right,
oh, could have.
Right.
They spent their whole time talking about how empty the club was. Since 150 people, 5 people in the room. Guess what? I went on stage and did my regular 5-7 minutes routine, and I got the fuck off stage. What none of us 30 comedians knew, those 5 people was the producers of Bounce. They thought we was just showcasing for the camera to send to the producers. What they didn't know was those 5 people was the fucking producers.
Wow.
The camera was just there with the GP, but they was there. Out of 30 comedians, I'm the only one they picked. They called me at 2-something in the morning and asked me, can we bring you to Atlanta? And that was my first television credit.
Is that right?
Off the Chain. Shout out to Bounce TV. Shout out to the ATL, bro.
That's what's up.
And so it just started opening right after that, bro. Managers, agents, Tamara started doing my contracts for me. Tamara started booking me on shows. And I'm really not even signed with Tamara.
Right.
So for her to start putting me on shows, doing my contracts, taking care of me, that was a blessing.
Yeah.
So shout out to Jenny, Tamara, and the Envelope Agency, man. So
That's
a
what's
bunch of stuff started happening, bro.
That's what's up. That's
TV
what's up.
critics started going, and them all the doors I spent years trying to open.
Trying to open
bro.
up.
Yeah, trying to open up, bro. But you don't have to try to open up some that's already open. A lot of people talking about chasing a dream. You can't chase a dream because now you're indicating to the universe that the dream is not attached to you. You have to say, I'm manifesting my dream. Because when you're living in your manifestation, what's for you is already yours.
Right.
You just have to manifest. Me here at the Uptown Comedy Corner, it's not coincident. I manifested. I want to go to AT. I want to perform at the Uptown Comedy Corner. I want to do them shows down there. Because I called Angelo several times after Tory. But he gets so busy, he ain't got time to be just thinking about no exact Pacific talent. So when I talked to Angelo this time, you said, what you tell me? You said, man, it must be meant because 3 different people in 1 week
That's a true story.
brought up your name. He said, I got to bring you.
Yeah.
Now think about what he said. 3 different people said my name in 1 week. Father, Son, Holy Ghost. Come on, somebody. That's the Trinity, baby. And now here we are, baby. Here we are.
That's a true story.
So I'm very spiritual, bro.
Yeah.
I'm a sinner too. Make no doubt about it. I want y'all to see me fucking with a girl and be like, wait a minute, is that the spiritual nigga? Nope, I'm spiritual, but I'm a sinner. Goddamn. I'm weak. God working on me. Help me, Jesus.
He ain't done with you yet.
He ain't done. See, people need to stop trying to manipulate. Do you know God know your heart?
Sure.
So you can walk around and represent the people like you, this godly person with this Bible. Man, God know who you are.
All right.
You can't hide it. So my thing is, be honest with God, because you can't hide it from him. I remember one point, I said I'm going to practice celibacy, right? Everybody said it at some point in their life, and they fail. Everybody fail. So at one point I realized, okay, I'm not going to wait till marriage for sex, right? So I told God, have mercy and grace on me, because I'm not going to, in that particular department, I'm not even working on to get better at. And I got to be careful how I say this, because I don't want people to get the wrong message. My point is, it's sins that you're going to do that you are aware of, that you're working on to get better at. It's some sins that we do that we are aware of that we're not working on to get better at. It's some sins that we do that we're unaware that we even doing it. My whole point is, if you keep an honest relationship with God, that's all that matters. Forget everybody else trying to judge you, or a pastor say, oh, you're a false prophet, or you contradict yourself, all you're doing is you preaching but you're having sex, whatever the case may be. I don't have to explain myself to you.
All right.
I got an honest relationship with God. He know what sins I'm working on. He know what sins I'm going to do. He know what sins I'm good at. He know what sins I'm weak at. He the only person can judge me. And me and you sleeping with the same amount of women. The only difference is I'm just keeping it honest. You think you hiding it from people.
Right.
So the only difference is our hearts.
Gotcha.
So if you're out there sinning, I ain't promoting sin, but what I am promoting is be honest with God. Some stuff you're working on, some stuff you're not. Just be honest with God, and the rest will take care of itself. So if you look up and you see me in heaven, like, how did that nigga get in? He was sleeping with all these ladies. Well, I was strong in other areas, and I was weak in that area. You saw me and tried to do what I did, but not realizing you was weak in other areas I was strong in.
Right.
So what my point is, you walk your own journey. Don't compare yourself to the next man's life and the next man's journey, because you don't know what deal God got with Angelo. You don't know what deal I got with me. So just because you go have sex don't mean God approve it for me to. Not that he approved neither one of us, but metaphorically, you might feed the homeless every day and sleep with women. So here I am just only seeing you sleep with the women part.
Right.
So I feel like, well, if he can do it, I can do it.
Right,
God
right.
forgave him, God forgave me, but I don't know what
Right.
you got going on in your journey to where God overlooked that or forgive you for that.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying. Respect your own journey. Don't compare it to the next person, and keep it real with God, even if you're sinning or not sinning.
That's good. That's good. So was Bounce you consider that your big break? What do you consider your big break in the comedy world?
I'm not going to even say my big break happened, to be honest with you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? My television career started running. I went from Bounce Off the Chains to with Bob Summer, We Got Next. That show he had come out on the Magic Johnson channel called Spears. Then on the Oprah own network with Flex and Shanice show, I did 10 episodes of that. And then I did, I got booked in this video game, #1 video game in the country. It came from London, but I'm on the billboards and brick walls all through the country in that video game. So none of it I don't feel like got me there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm still climbing. My Instagram blew up because I did Chocolate Sunday. Shout out to Chocolate Sunday Laugh Factory. They posted my clip. One of them had like 2 million views. I looked up my Instagram shooting up. The next one had like 1 million views, 700,000 views. And it just happened over years. So my Instagram kept gradually just going up. And I'm not no Instagram. I know they promoted me like an Instagram sensation. No, I'm a comedian. I ain't no Instagram sensation. Right. Meaning I ain't really come from that Instagram era because I don't do sketches. You know what I mean? I should. Shout out to everybody that did because they putting asses in these seats. And that's all the fuck that count at the end of the day. Don't think club on the count, man. You got asses in that seat. And so what I'm learning now is to take advantage of my social media. I just crossed 1 million followers, so I'm learning how do I transition that to ticket sales?
Right.
Because you can have 10 million followers. It's easy to hit like and follow you than to get dressed, take a shower, go buy a ticket to come and see your ass. 2 different things.
Sure.
So you want to engage and gain a real supporter versus somebody just hitting like on your shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So that's the process where I'm at. Transition likes and followers into ticket sales. And got to keep the hustling with it. Start coming in town a day early, promoting, passing out tickets. So that's where I'm at with it. So I can't say to me my big break happened.
Gotcha.
Like I talked about on stage, I do got the #1 movie in Tubi called No Way Out, starred in Marcus Houston, directed by Chris Stokes. I'm on Amazon on a TV series called Spiritual Connection, episode 2, similar to what we're talking about. So that one was a clean version, and they just interviewed me basically.
Yeah.
And then I'm on this show called I'm on a network called Urban Flex, which is like a new Netflix for urban.
Yeah,
and guess who the founder is? Bob Johnson, the same guy who started BET. And he said, and you know what he told us? He didn't tell me directly, but you know, the producer, he said, I'm gonna turn Urban Flex just as big as I made BET.
Wow.
And remember, when he said that shit about BET, nobody believed him. And look what happened.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tyler Perry for buying BET and VH1 the whole 9 yards. But now Bob started Urban Flex. CEO, founder. Yeah. So this is a good chance for anybody listening to get on board and believe him. Like when he started BET, they thought he was nuts.
No doubt.
Then he sold it for $15 billion.
Yeah.
So shout out to Urban Flex. There's a TV series on there called The Foster Law. I'm on episode 2. And so all 3 of those are up and running right now as we speak. So that's just all a blessing. I don't get better for him.
Gotcha.
I'm working on my Netflix special now.
Okay.
And what I learned about Netflix is you have to film like these professional cameras, how clear and all that stuff look. You have to do your own shit now. All that waiting on somebody to do something for you, that's just old. You got to go make shit happen right now. Like this podcast we doing, y'all could have talked about all y'all want. But until we do it, what it means? How can a network pick this up if you're not filming it?
True story.
It's just in your head.
That's right.
We are here in the middle of this interview. We think we're doing it for YouTube. But God's vision is bigger than ours. Because this is the type of interview that inspires people, motivate people, uplift people. It's real shit.
Right.
And you'd have been around and seen every comedian from A Blue C to Instagram to legit superstars to you'd have seen them all. My point is, so when you're interviewing people you respected in this industry and you get the truth, and that's what the people need to hear.
Right.
Everybody won't come share these Hollywood stories and glamour. They're like, man, it ain't all that. It's depression in it.
Yeah.
And scientists say the most depressed people in the world is comedians. You heard that?
Yeah, I've heard that.
They say they're the most sidelined because we spend all our energy making other people happy.
That's right.
But nobody making us happy.
That's right.
Spend many lonely nights masturbating. Now, many depression nights. I get real spiritual. See how quick I go to the left field on your head? It's bipolar. That's what the fuck we are. Bipolar. But this is, you're, see, a lot of people say, well, wait till this show get on Netflix. Wait till this show go on tour. And that's the craziest shit in the world to me. The reason why I say that is because we don't live the moment no more. If Netflix, BET, VH1, tours, if anybody come along and take this podcast to the next level and put it on the big screen, that's fine. That's a blessing. But if they don't, what the fuck did we lose?
All right.
Nothing.
That's right.
We're still sitting there enjoying each other's company. The viewers are still watching it and being motivated and inspired. Now answer me this. You started your podcast. Now which one you think will make God smile? A podcast that's a blessing to the people, or a podcast that make millions of dollars but it's not a blessing to the people?
Definitely the blessing.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's why we do it, for the blessing. The income will take care of itself. So many people don't do stuff based on the dollar. But guess what? If this podcast is a blessing to one soul,
That's right.
we done our job.
Absolutely.
We won.
Absolutely.
Because God is not basing this podcast off how successful our desires are.
That's right.
God is basing this podcast off of, are you being a blessing to my people?
That's right.
If I give you 1 viewer, if I give you 2 million viewers, don't get caught up into who watching. You do your part and let me handle the numbers.
That's right.
And that means you're performing from the heart now. Now we doing an interview from the heart. And if we get millions of viewers, cool. If we get 1 viewer, we won.
That's right.
Why? Because the man turned around when he lost 1 sheep, didn't he?
Yeah.
So we so busy focused on, I want to get 2 million people. Well, we got 1 viewer. What was said here tonight to help bless that person?
That's
help
right.
change that person's life. That person decided, I'm going to give God another try. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Now, do you think us getting blessed with millions of dollars, buying all the materialistic stuff we want, will make God smile for that 1 soul? God gonna take that 1 soul every time.
Absolutely.
Every time. Now God know we want both. Make no doubt about that. But my point is, stop saying what you're waiting on and just do it.
That's right.
And I'm here to tell you, brother, y'all already doing it. What level it go to, it's gonna go to. That's out your control. Your whole thing now is working strategically for it to get better opportunities, or better platforms. If you got to invest some money on this screen, you just get it up and going now.
Yeah.
And the numbers gonna take care of itself. But don't get caught up in the numbers and the investment. Always keep in mind, if they pay me, that's cool, but I ain't doing it for the money.
Yeah.
If they pay me, it's cool. But if they don't, those people watching are already won. And that's how I treat my comedy, bro.
That's real, man.
That's how I treat my comedy,
That's
bro.
so real. We talk about it all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We ain't worried about the mind, all that stuff. It's the platform. We talk about it all the time.
It's the
Let's get the
platform,
platform, man.
And that's why you continue to get blessed, bro. You had one Uptown Comedy Club. They came in and bought it. Gone. You had the next spot. Brought community over there. Developers saw potential. What? Gone.
Yeah.
Y'all had more than enough opportunities to allow y'all excuses to overdo y'all drive. But y'all drive is bigger than y'all excuses. Now where we sitting at? You can low-key, this goddamn room by itself is a comedy show. We can do 3, 4 shows at the same time. So my point is, did you notice your facilities get bigger and bigger?
Yeah.
You notice that?
Yeah.
Every time one closes, you get a bigger one. Every time another one closes, you get a bigger one. That's your sign right there. You're bringing laughter to an entire Atlanta area in tourists, bro. For people coming in, could have been thinking about committing suicide. My bucket list is to go get 1 laugh. Well, if y'all decide not to open up a club, where they going?
Right.
Where they going? Name me some white comedy clubs open up the doors to Instagram stars or urban comics.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Not happening.
If you ain't Jerry Seinfeld or Adam Sandler, keep it pushing. It isn't better now than it was back then. You know what I'm saying? But you understand where I'm going.
Absolutely.
The point is, y'all got a platform for us. Y'all didn't let the 2 other clubs that got bought stop y'all. Y'all vision continue to grow. Y'all drive continue to overdo y'all excuses. You already winning. And once you realize you in the moment, see, people go on vacation and they don't enjoy the vacation because you're spending too many time taking pictures. You want everybody on social media to know you're in Hawaii, you're on the boat, you're on the jet ski, you're on this. When are you enjoying it?
Enjoying it.
Enjoy the moment. We're not promised tomorrow, and we can't go back to yesterday.
That's right.
So enjoy the moment. Don't get caught up into your dream. You have to live now, and your dream will come to you. How many times you chased the girl, she didn't want you, but the minute you gave her no attention, she came to you? Money is the same way.
Yeah.
You chase money, you thirsted for money, that money will run away from you. The minute you say, I'm doing this for the love, the money gonna come to you. Beating this way in your bank account, beating this way in your pockets. And that's what it come down to, bro.
Good stuff, bro.
Enjoying the moment, bro.
I agree 100%.
Yes, sir.
100%. So what is Memphis Will manifesting for himself next? What's the goal?
Specials.
Okay.
Comedy specials, because I don't know what the big break is, but I feel like if I drop my comedy special in Netflix or Big Time or Tubi, I don't care who it is, if a streaming platform picks it up and put me in front of more people, I'm just lacking being seen. I'm not lacking the gift. I'm not lacking the talent. I won't give a fuck what A+ comedian you go get. I bet I can stand on stage with him.
Right.
I'm gonna get the same amount of laughs he got, if not more, because I'm more hungry than him. You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
And I'm anointed. I know what I'm working with. They usually try to make me feel insecure about my gift, which is what I was talking about on stage. When you got a gift and talent, you ever notice people start saying, oh, you got an ego. Oh, you got cocky. Oh, so if I'm not funny, I'm humble. Get the fuck out of here. The guy that's not funny has to be submissive to you.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm gifted and talented. I don't have to submit to you. I can respect you, but I don't have to be submissive to you.
Right.
I don't have submissive energy. I'm not no good networker like that. You see what I'm saying? So what am I saying to you? The end game, Earthquake told me, he said that, what's your end game? He said your end game is specials, then you start over. Specials, then you start over. Special, then you start over. So I'm just lacking being seen.
Gotcha.
Not lacking the gift, not lacking the talent. I'm lacking being seen, which is, this is an opportunity, a platform. I'm being seen. I'm being seen. And once I'm seen, people gravitate to me. All these people left these shows, they all came up to me and they told me, every single person, they told me, hey man, even your staff, bro, and they see every comedian that come through, they say, bro, this is one of the best shows I've seen. I had a waitress tell me the other day, she said, the vibe of your show and the energy in the room, she said, I've never seen it before. And even one of the customers was like, dude, the way you come off the top of your head and involve the whole room, he said, I done seen stars come up here and can't go to the crowd like that and just kind of do material. He said, bro, last night we had a couple stay at both shows. She said, I got to watch you again. We don't even laugh. It was a married couple. Mm-hmm. And so when they stayed again, initially I felt like, oh shit, I got to do new shit. But I said, no, I'm just going to go do me. But every time I touch stage for the staff who been here, I'm going to say something that you didn't hear on the next show or that show.
Right.
I'm going to make up 2, 3, 4, 5 things that you didn't hear because I'm always improv. Why doing material my entire show? So I know it's a gift and talent. So I stopped letting OGs make me feel insecure about my gift and talent. Because the fact is, Angelo, I have never took a notebook and wrote down a joke.
Wow.
Every single joke I tell it from stage. I wrote it on stage.
Wow.
And Chris Spencer told me, he said, Tupac wrote down everything. He said Jay-Z wrote down nothing. But they both respectable powerhouse artists.
Absolutely.
And he said, so you have to be the comic that God got you to be. You can't be what the next person is.
That's right.
His thing may be writing. Your thing is exactly what you're doing now. Do I know when I do a special what order I'm going to go in? Of course. If I make up a new joke on stage, then I write it in my notebook. I write jokes after I create them. You see what I'm saying? But that's just my style of. At first, I felt the pressure of I got to do it the way you did it. Bring a backpack, bring a recorder, get my audio, do that. It just never was my thing. So at some point, I started feeling like, is my work ethic lacking? Like, am I lazy? Why I don't do none of this shit they do? When they stand in the mirror, practice a whole hour, and go perform that set, I haven't even looked at a joke till they call my name to go on stage, and I get more feedback than them.
Right.
That's how I know it's an anointed gift. And so I'm trying to do exactly what Earthquake taught me. Get to the end game. Take a special, put it up, start over. Do another special. Take it, put it up, start over. When I say put it up, meaning put it on the platform to keep it rolling. Shout out to Kevin Hart and Mike Epps and Cat Williams for putting up all them specials. Just David Chappelle. They just boom, boom. D.L. Hughley, Frat Brother Urkel, putting up them specials, man. And that's what it's about. Doing your special and starting over.
Yeah.
Go back and get another one. Go back and get another one. And that's my game. Because one thing about comedy, we can tour for a lifetime. As long as God bless us with our health, we can keep touring. We can keep on hitting the stage, keep on bringing it. When actors and actors, writer strike going on right now, they down. They shut down. They got to wait on the next movie or the next this and that. If a comedian, movies, and TV slow down, he can go right to the stage and keep that steady income rolling in. So my goal is to build a household name to where when you see Memphis Will on the marquee, them tickets sell out.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm trying to get to, a household name, and I want to be financially comfortable. I don't want to have to depend on this penny, or how much I'm going to make this month doing comedy. Am I going to be able to cover rent? That's where I'm at.
Right.
I want to get out of that. I want to be out every weekend. Every weekend, I want to be at somebody club, somebody theater with finances coming in to where I ain't worrying about financial no more. So that's where I'm at. That's what I'm striving to do.
Gotcha. Yeah, man, I'm going to tell you, your style is definitely unique, you know, and I watched several of the shows, and it was all, whether it was similar jokes or not, the style, the delivery, I mean, the involvement of the audience. Even the photographer came up. As soon as I walked through the door, he said, man, this dude's controlled the crowd the minute he hit the stage. That photographer said, as soon as I walked through the door. You know what I mean? He controlled the style. He said, man, this is incredible. No, so it's the way you do your show is excellent, man. I'm thoroughly impressed with it. I mean, I don't normally just sit out there for a whole show, definitely not multiple shows. But I had to sit there, man. I appreciate that. I was amazed, bro. That was good stuff.
Thank you, bro. Coming from you, bro, knowing that you have seen everybody. Hey, I take that as, hey, man, Angelo y'all heard him, goddammit. This ain't me talking, it's him, baby. He done seen y'all all. I'm coming for your asses. Get ready.
Nah, that was great stuff, man. I think your future is super bright.
Thank you, bro.
Super bright. And I mean that sincerely.
I receive
that style is incredible.
Thank you, bro.
And I love the involvement. And I mean, how you keep up with all them people and come back to them. I mean, they love that, man. They love it. You start hearing, like tonight, you start hearing the girls, don't forget Cowboy. And that was classic.
I receive it, bro. I receive all of it, bro.
Yeah, that was classic, man. So I like to always end my conversations with a top 5. Okay. All right? So give me, based on your miraculous football career at the University of Memphis.
All-American.
Your All-American status. Give me your top 5 football players of all time.
My top 5 is Joe Montana.
Okay.
Jerry Rice. Tom Brady. I changed to a Tom Brady fan when he went. Deion Sanders. Okay. Prime time, baby.
Yes, sir.
And as you notice, I'm naming all Hall of Famers. Let's get that out the way. Right. All Hall of Famers. And my 5th person would have to be Doug Williams.
Oh, wow.
First African-American black quarterback, 1987, baby.
Yes,
I remember it. First Super Bowl I saw.
46
with my own eyes on TV.
46-10. Yeah, he slaughtered them Broncos.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's good 5 right there.
Yes,
man.
sir. Yes, sir.
Well, Memphis, well, I'm gonna tell you, like I said before, man, excellent weekend. You know what I mean? I know you're closing out tomorrow, man. This has been a joy to have you here. I can't wait to bring you back, man. I know by the time we bring you back, you know, it's we got a little buzz.
We got a buzz now,
you're gonna hit
baby.
some of them plateaus,
yes,
man.
Yes, sir. We got a buzz
yes,
now, baby.
The sky's the limit, brother.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? The movies, the film, everything you got to do, man. I can't wait to see you on TV. You know, it's just a matter of time. We're gonna have this conversation.
Absolutely.
Like, man,
manifestation.
Look what happened since last time you were here.
Yes, sir, baby. Yes, sir. Manifestation. We're still gonna be All-American former football player. That's no doubt.
Period.
With a master's degree.
With a master's degree.
That shit's not changed. That's not changed.
Hey, Memphis, I appreciate the conversation, man. Appreciate sit down at Uptown, man. You know, I know gotta get you some rest, man. Get ready for tomorrow,
yes,
brother.
Sir.
But we appreciate your time, man.
I appreciate you, man. High vibration, positive energy, man. Keep loving and laughing. Keep loving, laughing, and loving and laughing. High vibration, peace.
This is Sit Down at Uptown. Memphis Will.